Hey YouTube, it's ShryphonX here. Today we're going to be talking about Kagurabachi Chapter 92. Like and subscribe for more content. Kagurabachi features one of its most brutal duels, Yura and Hokuto versus Yuruha and Natsuki. Kagurabachi Chapter 92 spoilers. Both sides are thoroughly beaten up, with the next chapter likely deciding who emerges the victor in this generational clash. In the previous Kagurabachi chapter, Natsuki Misaki faces off against his brother's killer, Hokuto, but to his disappointment, he finds out that his supposedly dead one-sided rival Yuruha is still alive. Kagurabachi chapter 92 is titled, Those Swordsmen. This chapter has 19 pages. Editor's note, itching to have a battle with Yura. The chapter begins with Hokuto and Yura greeting each other, with Hokuto wrapping his arm around Yura's shoulder as he is relieved that the Hishaku leader has reserved Yuruha for him. But Yura says it is only because Yuruha is tough to deal with. Meanwhile, Yuruha catches up with Natsuki, who is not too pleased to see his one-sided rival alive. Natsuki and Kiri note that Hokuto was barely taking this fight seriously, especially with the strength of Hokuto's non-dominant arm, showing that he was a real sword maniac. Yuruha tells Kiri to take Hakuri and grab the Shinuchi, with Kiri still complaining, much to Natsuki's annoyance. Kiri goes off and leaves the Hishaku to the two old men, which is what she calls them. Yuruha says Natsuki is the UNC here, being 36, even though both of them only have a one-year difference. Hokuto introduces himself respectfully and even winks at Yuruha almost flirtatiously, as he has been excited for this opportunity to go all out in a fight to the death with one of the enchanted blade wielders. He then begins to reveal a lot of secrets. First, his sorcery is the ability to make armored samurai dolls, which may also explain how he was able to manipulate his own armor as a shield dome in the last chapter. This is how he joined the other two sorcerers using a puppet against Kunishige, but expecting a good fight with a bookie personally, except that did not pan out the way he wanted as a bookie had fallen off. Second, he actually reveals Yura's name and his position as the leader of the Hishaku. Even Yura was caught off guard, showing that not everything is really in control for him, and that makes him an impressive villain, to maintain calm, but have so much situational awareness, whether it is Yuruha being an actual threat or his comrade doing something off-kilter. Hokuto then reveals Yura is the mastermind of Ibuki and Kunishige's deaths, and that the Hishaku swore allegiance to him, because he is quite frankly irreplaceable. But why exactly? Hokuto stops talking, revealing he was trying to rile them up, and notes that it did not seem to do the trick. So he prepares to make his move, but before Hokuto could unsheath his sword and show the full strength of his blade hyped up for the past few chapters, Yuruha cuts his right hand off. Instead of feeling pain, Hokuto gets excited at the sight of Ai white purity as being more than he imagined, and uses his left hand to attack. Natsuki makes his move, but Yura joins the fray, two swords blocking Natsuki's own twin blades. The impact of their fight causes the four to land on Kaminabi headquarters, third repository. Yura praises Hokuto's efforts to make them fight seriously. As he and Yuruha clash, Hokuto notes that Yuruha had started learning Ai white purity style at the young age of 16, making him quite the battle genius. Meanwhile, Yuruha is impressed by Hokuto's ability to parry his blade with a backward step and then counter, showing an out-of-this-world sense of distance and dynamic vision. Suddenly, Yuruha finds himself right next to Yura, and the two are sandwiched between Hokuto and Natsuki, their respective opponents. Yuruha dodges Yura's attack, but he is left wide open for Hokuto's slash, leading to Yuruha losing the fingers of his left hand holding the scabbard. Hokuto notes that while his attack was shallow, at least he still has a left arm to use. Suddenly, Natsuki swoops in, making a feint that lets his right-hand sword fly in front of Hokuto as a distraction for Natsuki to cut through the man with his left-hand sword. Natsuki mocks Yura here by saying that Hokuto really chose a man who spent 3 years soaking in an onsen over him, and that this was not Yura going all out at all. Natsuki analyzes Hokuto and notes that while he is quite fast and makes excellent split-second judgment calls, his innate sharpness can only last as long as it is constantly in use. Hokuto is out of practice, but Natsuki never stopped, training every single day to match the level of geniuses like Yura and Ibuki. With his other sword back, Natsuki pushes back against the Hishaku. Breaking the railings, Yura remarks that Natsuki has improved a lot, becoming quick on his feet, and Yura sees how he, who has only spent 3 years relaxing, has paled in comparison. Standing on the ledge, Yura is reinvigorated, recalling his previous instinct honed by the CDI war. With his sheath on his mouth and his brute strength breaking the railings, Yura cuts through Yura and joins Natsuki, with the chapter ending on both sides looking at each other and their grave injuries. Each side has lost a limb. Will this be the decisive battle for the Kamiyanabe invasion? Can the Hishaku escape 2 sword masters? Editor's note: both sides beaten to a pulp. Next issue, a special one-off chapter will be delivered. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. ShryphonX out.